Fam, what's going on? It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Hope you guys are having an amazing Wednesday. December 11th, Alabama's 2025 schedule has been revealed. We're going to talk about it on the show tonight. Get some feedback inside the comment box. Let everybody get checked in. Going to also talk about Dylan Lonergan hitting the transfer portal today. Also, Keanu Coate to Vanderbilt. He'll be making the trip back to Tuscaloosa on October 4th. That should be fun. Bill Belichick is your new head football coach at North Carolina. 5-year deal. All that and more right here on the evening show, Bama Football on YouTube. If you guys take a minute, hit the thumbs up. It helps the video's performance. I appreciate you guys being here. Let everybody get checked in the house as we go over Alabama's football schedule. I have some questions about Alabama's football schedule that I wanted to ask you. We also have T up in the house. T, what's going on?
Hello, everyone.
All right, working double overtime today, every day, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. So, as we look to Alabama's 2025 schedule, I'll let everybody get checked in, but as you can see, the first game is on the road in Tallahassee, taking on Florida State. And we'll go over it once everybody gets checked in. Louisiana, Milroe, Wisconsin, Georgia, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina, LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and Auburn to end the season, right? And I have a couple bullet points that I'll go over with each of you guys on the back end of the show as well. Also in the news today, you have Bill Belichick, as we mentioned, who is the new head football coach at North Carolina. We'll hit on that briefly. You have Keanu Coate headed out to Vanderbilt. We'll touch on that as we continue to talk about roster management and transfer portal news. But I wanted to start here, kind of recapping the day and the news, talking about Dylan Lonergan. I appreciate you being here. Jarvis, what's going on? Now, I appreciate you, Quincy, for checking in the evening tip. Angel, I see you as well. Thank you very much. We'll take some calls tomorrow on our Thursday show. But I think that when you look to Dylan Lonergan and the fact that he hit the transfer portal, it wasn't a shocker by any stretch of the imagination. I think if you saw Dylan Lonergan hit the transfer portal, you were like, there it is, right? You knew that he was the odd man out of that quarterback room. We understand that Ty Simpson has been here. He's a guy that is the front runner to be the quarterback next season if Jalen Milroe does go to the NFL. And I get all the feedback inside the comment box. I think there's a heavy lean that feels he's going to go to the NFL. I've heard otherwise. You go back and forth. It's going to be him who announces his official deal. If we're going to talk about this on every single show because it is Jalen Milroe. He is the quarterback of the Alabama Crimson Tide. That's what happens. Jack, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Thank you very much. Jarvis is saying, Saban said last night, it's a young man's game. Going to be interesting to see how Bill Belichick does in the Wild Wild West of NIL. And that's the thing right now is I think, in talking about Bill Belichick is college football has no guardrails at all, right? I mean, the lack of parameters, I think, makes it a scary place to coach just because it's not. The NFL is down to the T, right? But I think here within, there we go. Turn on the lights. Man, that looks a million times better. There's no guardrails. Every single thing is changing all the time in the world of college football. But back to Dylan Lonergan, odd man out. Austin Mack is a Kalen DeBoer guy. Keelan Russell. I mean, you saw that video today. It was Trayvon Diggs who walked out the National Player of the Year award to Keelan Russell. Really good video out there today. I'm sure you saw it on social media. He's coming not here to be the backup. I think he's coming here to play. He's an early enrollee. These guys at this level are coming here to compete, to play. Dirtbike, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Herman, what's going on? See you. Brash, what's going on? I appreciate you. Brash is hoping that SMU was on the schedule. Right? That would be fun. Going down to the Dallas Metroplex. It'd be a great recruiting opportunity for sure. Is anybody surprised to see Dylan Lonergan hit the transfer portal? I don't think we're saying anything negative about Dylan Lonergan. I think he's going to be a fine quarterback. I bet you there's plenty of places that have already offered him and are willing to entertain him to have him be their quarterback. Same thing with Eli Holstein. He just wasn't going to be the quarterback here. There's like zero surprise for me. He was one of the guys that I put on the board as guys to watch just because we put things together based on the roster that we know. Not even surprised. In fact, I'm happy for him. to be honest. I'm happy for him because now he's going to have a real opportunity to compete somewhere else for the starting spot based on his skill set. And I think his skill set is good. You know, the times that I saw him during the spring game, he had a pretty good spring game. Yeah, 25 snaps this season. All right. Hey, Alabama superfan, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Jarvis, what's up, man? I appreciate you. Jarvis, what's the line on this ReliaQuest Bowl? Is it still like 11.5 or something like that? I thought it opened at like 14 or something like that. Hippie's asking, you think if Milroe doesn't go to the draft, he'll transfer? I don't think so. Damian Harris said that earlier today, and we played that, and we ran that soundbite, or we talked about it. I don't think so. I don't think he goes. I don't think he transfers. I think if he was to leave, he just goes to the NFL, which I think he's still going to do. All right. Keanu Coat going to Vandy. What did you guys see this? Look, the Keanu Coat story is wild. Everybody knows what supposedly happened. Factually, what happened is he got pulled over. Like, that was an actual story. And the other stuff was crazy. Just like this whole Ryan Williams deal, how silly it is. That his DMs, it would be so easy to fake something like that. Come on. You don't think that these players, you don't think that these players know, but then look at Carson Beck.
Yeah.
Carson Beck.
I totally believe he did it.
I don't. I don't.
Carson?
Oh, Carson Beck?
Yeah.
100,000,000%.
Yeah, he did it.
No, but but I'm not saying because like Ryan, it sounds stupid.
No, I don't know. Ryan's a good boy.
Yeah. I don't want him to grow up. All right. People want the schedule, but real quick, Keanu Coat, we're going to show you the schedule in just a second. Keanu Coat to Vanderbilt. I think it's interesting for a lot of different reasons. Keanu Coat, look, I saw him as someone that had some upside. I was excited about him. I really liked his tape. He came on. He fell on Tyler Van Dyke. Van Dyke was injured, didn't play the rest of the season. I think, honestly, Keanu Coat was just beat out by Quay Rusaw. Yo, Quay Rusaw is an absolute baller. Samuel, so Carson Snapchatted. That's what happened. All right. Here's Alabama's 2025 football schedule. Let me put this on the big screen. Let's see if we can get this. Oh, I like that. Can everybody see that? This is Alabama's football schedule. We got 193 up in the house. If we can get 193 thumbs up. Honestly, take a minute just to hit the thumbs up on that video. I'm not sure why it works, but it works. And it tells people that people like the video. All right, so what we're going to do is can you read out on the left the schedule? And then I will go over the schedule one by one, throwing in some bullet points. And then I'm going to ask the fans inside the comment box about the schedule. And I have a couple questions that I wanted to relay to our fans coming in to look at the schedule review. So just go over the schedule from top to bottom. And then I'll then I'll take over.
So August 30th, we start at Florida State. September 6th, we have Louisiana Monroe at home. The September 13th versus Wisconsin. Then we have a bye week. The 27th is at Georgia. And then October 4th is versus Vanderbilt. The 11th is at Missouri. The 18th is versus Tennessee. The 25th is at South Carolina. November 1st, another bye week. The 8th versus LSU.
Mm-hmm.
15th, Oklahoma. And then Eastern Illinois and at Auburn. At
Auburn. Yeah, okay.
So a little bit.
Yeah, there's a schedule for 2025. And I think when you look at this schedule, a couple of things that definitely jump off, at me when I'm looking at this schedule. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, and I listed kind of some bullet points, and I'll play, I'll ask you guys some questions. So from a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the most challenging that a schedule can be, what would you say that this is in terms of a challenging schedule? Like 10, it is like ridiculously hard. Is it 7? Is it moderate? You look at the out of conference games. They're Louisiana Monroe, Wisconsin, Eastern Illinois. That's why I thought the whole thing was like, changing the out-of-conference schedule. I don't think it's that tough of a schedule. I mean, look, let's see. I would probably say, let me look at this real quick. At Georgia's ultra challenging. At South Carolina, yeah, that'll be tough. Yeah, that's definitely up there. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Tough home game against LSU. You should have some revenge for Oklahoma. At Auburn, tough. Okay, so kind of a mixed bag. Maybe let's put a poll on this. Yeah, put a poll, and let's just say strength of Alabama's schedule in 2025. Difficult, moderate, easy. Yeah, NIL makes it tough, 100%. You have no idea what team's coming in. Okay. I put up some bullet points for each of these games. We'll go one by one. I was excited to see that they released the schedule. Okay, the schedule's out, and we have a poll inside the comment box. If you could vote inside the poll, there's 3 options: difficult, moderate, easy. Okay, so this Florida State game. The first thing about Florida State is the fact that this team went 2-10 this past season under Mike Norvell. I have no idea if Mike Norvell was a legitimate contender for Alabama's job before Coach Kalen DeBoer got it. I think his name might have been mentioned, in kind of hot boards and this and that. I was glad that he wasn't the guy to come here. A couple different reasons why I don't like the way that he handled himself after they didn't make the playoffs. That's why I've been happy about Coach Kalen DeBoer. I mean, basically he said that, disappointed they didn't make it, shouldn't have left it in the hands of other people. He's not trying to sue people. He's just, that's it. Get back to work, right? Start building the transfer portal. The last time that Alabama and Florida State played was in Atlanta, Georgia. So it was my first year covering the Alabama Crimson Tide. So I went down to Florida State to cut a video with War Chant. And Florida State at that point in time was ranked I think the 2 teams were ranked in the top 5. Alabama completely dominated Florida State in that game. The quarterback got hurt for Florida State. And then Florida State's program, they started just trending the opposite way until they completely fell off the rails. It wasn't until Mike Norvell came back and kind of resurrected the program. In 2023, they were undefeated, but just this last year was really unbelievable. Now, historically, the 2 teams have never met in Tallahassee. They met in 2007 in Jacksonville, 1974 in Tuscaloosa, 1967 in Birmingham, and 1965 in Tuscaloosa. So this will be Alabama's first trip to Florida State. Level of excitement on a scale of 1 to 10 about Alabama playing on the road against Florida State. To be honest, I'm a little bit excited about this Florida State game. A couple of reasons why. I think Alabama going to Florida State will give recruits regionally in that area, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, an opportunity to go see Alabama on the road and kind of maybe start to add some recruits and the coaches can start working some guys from that particular area. That's why I'm excited about that, right? I'm excited about this. I think that Florida State, even though they fell off, they still have a big name, and I think Alabama versus ACC competition, that's another opportunity for Alabama to kind of, drop the hammer on the ACC team. Who knows how good Florida State will be? You're not going to know how good these teams are going to be because of the transfer portal and the ins and outs, right? Okay, Louisiana Monroe, it'll be Alabama's first home game of the season. General Booty, who's our quarterback, he hit the transfer portal, right? Then you have on September 13th, you have Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin is coming to Tuscaloosa, right? It's kind of a rotating. Alabama played up in Camp Randall. Now Wisconsin coming to Tuscaloosa. I like Luke Fickell. I think he's a really good football coach. I liked how after the game, he just straight up was like, we got our ass kicked. That was like the best soundbite of the entire year, right? Tyler Van Dyke is in the transfer portal. I have no idea where he'll go. And that's another opportunity for Alabama to kind of flex on a Big Ten team.
Why do you think we're playing Wisconsin 2 years in a row?
Because these are contracts. These are like a home and away contract that Greg Burns signed with these teams. There's a couple of them on the schedule for like, because some of these schedules are already scheduled out to like 2035.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like a home and away. I think, honestly, there's some games that are scheduled like in 2035. I'm serious. I don't look. The great thing about this bye week is that you have 2 weeks to prep for Georgia, and I would imagine that Georgia. I haven't looked at Georgia's schedule, but I would imagine that Georgia also has a bye week before they play Alabama. Oh, thanks for the heads up, Angel. So we have no idea who will be the quarterback in Wisconsin. That's fine. I think Alabama will dominate them once again, to be honest. This Georgia game, it'll be the first SEC game on the road for Coach Kalen DeBoer. The interesting thing about this is, look, it would have been the same thing if Alabama was to meet Georgia in the playoffs. Georgia is going to be the favorite in this game. Georgia is going to have all the bells and whistles. They're supposed to beat Alabama, blah, blah, blah. I have no idea. I think it's going to be ultra challenging for Alabama to win on the road in Athens. I would imagine that game's at 7 o'clock, ABC. There'll be 15 million people watching it. Maybe Georgia makes a run at the championship this year. I have no idea. But the fact is, Alabama, they have owned this series. They've won the last 9 out of 10 games. And I hear all the time from Georgia fans, blah, 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 this and that, blah, blah, blah. Alabama beats Georgia. They do. I ain't make this up. I'm not making these stats up. Say what you want. Jalen Milroe beat you twice. He beat you in the SEC title game, and he beat you here. So, I don't know. The past doesn't dictate the future, but facts are facts. Stats are stats. Mike Madden, what's up, man? Appreciate you. Vandy's the daddy. Vandy had a great year. Vanderbilt's up next on 10-4. Obviously, they beat Bama this past year, so Alabama should have a lot of, revenge on their mind, if you want to call it that. But it was interesting. That was their first win against Alabama since 1984. Where were you living in 1994?
1994 or 84?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 1984.
I was not born.
Where were you at in 1984? Sound off inside the comment box. 1984, I was in Portales, New Mexico.
Oh, you won?
Okay, I'm going to tell you a quick story, okay? Story time. So while you answer where you were living in 1984, if you're old enough, true story. Who knows Jesus Man in 5 Points here in Tuscaloosa and Cottondale?
Bojangles, Jesus Man.
Yeah, who knows Jesus Man? Raise your hand. Does anybody know Jesus Man? You better know Jesus Man. If you've been in Tuscaloosa and you left out through Cottondale to go to the airport or something like that, you better know Jesus Man. I have no idea how long Jesus Man has been there. But he's right outside of Bojangles, and he has a sign that says, Jesus will save you.
Yeah, it's always something.
Okay? Does anybody know Jesus Man? Zion wasn't even born. Rick was at the game. Timothy Dow, what's up, man? All right, a lot of people weren't born. I get it. Hacker Music was in Missouri. All right, so I ran into Jesus Man, okay? So he holds up a sign. He's been there, I think, for a long time. And I was talking to him, and, I don't know. I pulled over to talk to him. I had to talk to him. I had to find out a little bit about him. I was curious. Maybe I wanted a little bit of Jesus at that time. So I'm talking with him, and I was like, you know what? He was like, where are you from? We'll start changing, and he was like, where are you from? And I was like, no. I was like, have you ever been to New Mexico before? And he's like, I've been to one city in New Mexico in my whole life. He's older. He's like 60. And I was like, really? I was like, where in New Mexico? And he's like, I've been in the most beautiful place ever in New Mexico, Portales, New Mexico. And I was like, that's where I was born. That's the only place that he's been. And that's where he's from. You see what I'm saying? Isn't that crazy? I couldn't even believe it. So there's your Jesus story. All right. Missouri, Eli Drinkwitz, in Missouri, crazy to think they haven't beaten Alabama since 1975. Now, they haven't played a lot of times throughout the course of history, but still, 1975, I mean, that's a long time ago. Check this out. You have Tennessee, the third weekend of October. I love the fact that they keep these rivalries around the same window. The third weekend of October will be here in Tuscaloosa. Tennessee has won the last 2 out of 3 matchups against Alabama, with the last win in Tuscaloosa coming in 2003, right? So say what you want about Tennessee, and I know a lot of people hate Tennessee and dislike Tennessee and all that they come with, right? Josh Heupel is the right coach for Tennessee. He has them on the right trajectory. This is a playoff team this year. Alabama's not a playoff team. He has a really good defense. I think he's going to continue to develop his quarterback. Nico will be back next season. Tennessee, that's a tough game. I think, honestly, I was going to say that's their toughest home game. It's obviously that or LSU. Probably Tennessee. Tennessee, right? But you know who's coming back, and he just announced it tonight, is Garrett Nussmeier. He's coming back for LSU. 10-25, you're on the road against South Carolina, and I think that is going to be a highly anticipated game. Very challenging. A lot on the line in that game. You know, look, Alabama lost 3 games in the SEC this year, and you know where it put them. It put them outside of the playoffs. Georgia's going to be very challenging. South Carolina is going to be very challenging as well. Their quarterback's talented. Lenora Sellers, and guess what? Lenora Sellers, who threw for 2,200 yards and 17 touchdowns last season, he's coming back. He's only a freshman. So this game is going to be very hard. The last time Alabama went to Columbia, I've never been to Columbia. That was the game that Najee went crazy. Remember? When Najee, I think that was one of my favorite plays. It was when 2019, that had to be Mac Jones at quarterback. Mac Jones, you guys remember, you know what play I'm talking about, right? It was kind of a throwback. Najee catches it. He hurdled a dude and then stiff armed somebody and put someone in the dirt. That was crazy. So South Carolina, ultra challenging game. Just up there with Georgia. That game will be harder, I think, in Athens, but South Carolina, Shane Beamer. I think Shane Beamer should win the Coach of the Year, probably for college football. Alabama Superfan is saying On3 predicts Casey Concepcion to Bama. Yeah, that would be amazing. We talked about the transfer portal visitors that are in town this weekend. Kelby Collins out of Florida. We'll run that graphic one more time before we close out, talking about the schedule right now. Kelby Collins, Casey Concepcion out of NC State, Kelby Collins out of Florida, and then you have the tight end out of Arkansas, right? I would take all 3. I'm not going to lie. Okay. You have an open week and another week. Look, these are why I like this schedule is because you have open weeks at the right time to prepare for 2 hard-hitting SEC opponents. Say what you want about Brian Kelly and all the stuff that comes with him. He returns his quarterback again, who's a damn good quarterback, who didn't play that well against Alabama, but he's still a very talented quarterback. Aaron Anderson will be back. They got a lot of different weapons. It'll be a tough team, and a can't-lose game. You lose any of these games on the back end, you are out of the playoffs again. Oklahoma dominated Alabama in 2024. Now, Jackson Arnold, stay with me here, okay? Jackson Arnold will not be Oklahoma's quarterback this next season, but he could be Auburn's quarterback on the 29th. How crazy is that? Because this year, You're going to the haunted house in Auburn. And Jackson Arnold, the guy who completely ran up and down on you last year, could be the quarterback at Auburn. You guys seen this? And Alabama and Eastern Illinois, they never met before. That's a game on 11/22. The schedule's tough. Anything else that stands out at this schedule? The last game. So, okay, how about this? When you look to the schedule, what are the 3 most challenging games? Rank the most challenging games on the schedule. I'm going to go I'll go Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Auburn, LSU. And look, you could lose some games. That doesn't mean that you're not a playoff team. But as you know, you could get kicked out of the playoffs. Don't lose to one of these teams that isn't ranked. These are going to be some challenging games for sure. 100%. That South Carolina game, don't sleep on South Carolina. KTK is like Eastern Illinois. That one at the haunted barn is terrifying. It is scary. Matt is saying that Alabama needs to drop FSU. 297 up in the house. I appreciate you guys being here. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Daniel Adams is saying Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Those are hard games. That's could have been 3 playoff teams. South Carolina didn't make the playoffs this year. You get what I'm saying? Man, that's tough. Good thing Tennessee's here. And these guys better be ready for Oklahoma. Alabama owes Oklahoma. I honestly still feel that Oklahoma was so bad on each side of the ball that is a main contributing factor to why Alabama got left out of the playoffs. Because SMU didn't have a loss like that. Yeah, I get it. SMU didn't play the same type of schedule, but SMU didn't have a loss like that. The committee valued SMU's comeback against Clemson as a tie. They didn't value it as a loss. They valued it as a tie. That is why SMU is 11. That is why Clemson is 12. That's it. GP, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Appreciate you. KTK has it like this: Georgia, South Carolina, LSU, Tennessee, Auburn. Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina. Yeah, that is a tough stretch right there. Damn, yeah. October 11th through October 25th is rowdy. Yeah, good point out. I mean, you could even say the whole month of October is hard. Right? Vandy. I don't know. So Diego Pavia right now, he's taking this all the way up to like the federal level to try to get an extra year of eligibility. This is Vanderbilt's quarterback.
Oh yeah, what's happening?
He's taking it up to a federal judge, and he's saying that because of NIL, the fact that he transferred around and he was at the JUCO level, because I think he went from New Mexico Military Institute, which is in Roswell, and then he went to Las Cruces to play for the Aggies, and then he went from Las Cruces to Vanderbilt. I think and I don't know all the facts on this, but I think Diego Pavia, who is Vanderbilt's quarterback this year, is arguing that because he went to the JUCO route and he's out of eligibility, he's fighting for more eligibility because of name, image, and likeness.
So is this after November 13th that he's taking it further?
I think it's still like ongoing.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw an article on ESPN saying that a judge denied him added eligibility.
So I think he's taking it up to he's taking it up. Yeah.
Court, yeah.
So who knows? I don't know. This is all new, but Maybe he'll come back. I have no idea. I'll come back to the schedule in just 1 second, but there's 3:13. So let me recap a couple different items that you guys might have missed today. I know it's a busy Wednesday. News is always flying. So we put this as one of the headline topics, is that Dylan Lonergan hitting the transfer portal. If you follow this stuff like us and you follow your recruiting sites and you know the roster, and we show roster management pretty much every day. We show graphics of the quarterback room and give you kind of intel to why it would make sense for somebody like Dylan Lonergan to hit the portal. It makes perfect sense. And if you've been following the shows or you know about the team, you were like 0% surprised. And to keep it easy, Ty Simpson's coming back. Still waiting on Milroe. Austin Mack is a Kalen DeBoer guy that he brought in. And then you also have Keelan Russell, who is the number 1 player in the country, right? He won the Gatorade Player of the Year award. Like the number 1 player in Texas. He's coming back. So it only makes sense for somebody like Dylan Lonergan to hit the transfer portal. So for all of us that follow it very closely, it makes sense. I would imagine he'll be a starter next year. I have no idea what would make sense for him to go, but you saw that things worked out really well for Eli Holsting, who had a very successful season this year. I'm bringing up Eli Holsting's stats. He was a quarterback that was actually playing behind Dylan Lonergan. 6'4", 225 pounds. He's a redshirt freshman. Threw for 2,000 yards and 17 touchdowns. Actually, very similar to Lenora Sellers' yards from Wisconsin. I'm sorry, for South Carolina. My bad. So I think my point is Dylan Lonergan is going to go somewhere and he's going to be able to play quarterback and he'll be a starter. Other news that you might have missed, and we got a member that just checked in. So we have Waylon Hutchins became a fan funder. Thank you so much, Waylon. We appreciate you supporting the show. Keanu Coate to Vanderbilt. What's the comedic level of this? Like on a scale of like 1 to 10, with like 10 being absolutely hilarious or like moderate. I think it's kind of funny.
It is
like
funny.
The funny part about it is clearly, the stuff that supposedly happened with him, and everybody knows about, what allegedly happened. The facts of this are, or the facts that we know is that he was speeding, right?
Yeah.
We know that. Wasn't he driving like over
102, was it? Or 5?
He was flying.
Like
Okay.
Over 100.
So he leaves Alabama and he goes to Nash Vegas. If you don't have your head on straight in Tuscaloosa, it's going to be hard to keep your head on straight in Nashville.
Vegas.
Right? Like, the place is fun. Okay. Samuel Wilkinson inside the comment box saying, Kyle, do you see Ty transferring out? Milroe to the draft. Austin starts. Keelan transfer quarterback backing him up. I wouldn't count out anything. I mean, I think that Ty, I could totally see Ty being the starter in spring camp and having one hell of a battle. So let's say Milroe goes to the NFL. This is what I think is most likely to happen, okay? I think that Milroe goes to the NFL. I think that Ty is the guy during spring, but I think it's a very open quarterback battle. And I think it's critical that you come out of spring football with a number 1 quarterback. Out of all the things that I love about Coach Saban, the one thing that I didn't like was the whole cake bake-off. I think when he didn't name Jalen the starter that year, it created division among the team, among the fans. Like, you need to know who the quarterback is, period. And I think you let these guys duel it out in spring and you just have the guts to be like, this is the quarterback of the future, and the future under my offense starts right now, and this is the quarterback that we are going to roll with 100%. And I think if you have an alpha approach about the quarterback and you really take hold of it, I think the Alabama fans will respect you. They already love Coach Kalen DeBoer for the most part. I think his approval rating is still really high. But I think if he comes out and he's like, this is the guy, this is why he can run the offense at this high of a level, and he's going to get these receivers fed, I think people will be super excited to see, the offense and Coach Kalen DeBoer in this first year with really a year under his belt. You see what I'm saying? But if he's like, if we go into the springtime and we still don't have a quarterback, I don't like that. I think you need a clear direction on who is going to be the guy. And I have no idea when Milroe will announce or whatever. I think he has up until like mid-January to announce if he is going to the NFL or not. And I would think if any of these guys were going to opt out, you would have probably heard about opt-outs already. And as Coach Kalen DeBoer recently said, he doesn't expect guys to opt out. He said limited opt-outs.
Announce January 15th.
January 15th.
So that's, literally half of January.
Billy, what's up, man? Billy Tenrex saying Texas got another cakewalk conference. Yeah, can we show? Let's look at. Okay, so I haven't even looked at like kind of the chatter because we were putting Alabama's football schedule here out in social media. Has anybody seen like a schedule that looks light that people are talking about? Because like remember last year. This is another good Twitter account to follow. So I'm sure you already follow like the recruiting sites On3 and 24/7, but this Recruits Bama one is pretty good too. Just Recruits Bama. You say news. North Carolina State wide receiver Kevin Concepcion is down to 6 schools: Bama, A&M, Colorado, Miami, South Carolina, and Florida State per On3's Pete Nakos. You know what? Pete Nakos is another guy you should be following. At Pete Nakos, Nakos. Is there any other schedule that people are like talking about, T, that you see that we should show on the screen?
Well, Texas does look pretty light, honestly.
All right, so let's put up Texas's schedule. Write that one down. So we'll look at Texas's schedule real quick.
Like they do open up at Ohio State, which
I like that.
Yeah, but then the rest of them are.
Oh, and someone's saying Yellow LOL is saying Oregon schedule. So let's do Texas and let's do. How does Oregon keep getting out of these tough schedules?
Well, the conference they're in.
We got a super chat in, T, if you want to read that as well.
Yeah, let me get to it. From Mangu King, he says, dude, compare our schedule versus Oregon's. It's utterly ridiculous. Why is the SEC allowing itself to be measured under the same scale with such a vast difference? Okay,
and this is the thing where we get back to the whole schedule thing. Greg Byrne and I think even Coach Saban were talking about, far out, why have these difficult out-of-conference opponents? I think those guys are way smarter than me. But the one thing that I think is hurting Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Ole Miss is the fact that they play in the same Shark Tank together. So they're literally cannibalizing each other by playing upper tier competition. This is the Premier League. If you follow soccer, like the Premier League is better than all the other leagues, period. And what's happening is you're trying to compare. You're basically saying that this conference is the same as the ACC and the same as the big conference and the Big 12. It's not. It is not. Like the ACC is not. So really what's happening is the SEC is going to play the gauntlet of a schedule like this. And we'll pull up Oregon's. Let me see if I can get Oregon's up on the sidebar. All right, let's do Oregon's real quick. And then we'll do Texas football schedule. Let's see if I can get it up real quick. Now, I appreciate the super chat too. All right, so let's do Oregon's. See if we have times and dates. Oh yeah, it's updated. FBS schedules is great. It's one of my favorite websites. I mean, it's really easy to look at. Oh, that's a timer. That means I gotta feed my dog. Okay, we'll set a timer to feed her later. Okay, and we'll go full screen on this. So here's a look at Oregon's 2025 football schedule. They take on Montana State. Then they take on Oklahoma State. You saw that Mike Gundy settling in on a new contract, right? Had to kind of restructure it and take a pay cut. At Northwestern, okay, Oregon State, at Penn State, They're open. They got an extra week to prepare for Indiana. At Rutgers, Wisconsin, open, Iowa, Minnesota, USC, at Washington. You know what's crazy? Oregon's like never going to lose again. I don't know who their quarterback is for the future. Who's behind Dylan Gabriel? I don't even know. But I know enough to know that Phil Knight running things at Nike means that Oregon is going to continue to be a team that is up there that can get any type of prospect that they want. And so now what I know too is I already can tell you 3 playoff teams next year. 3 playoff teams. Notre Dame, Boise State, and Oregon. Those are your playoff teams. Already. You could save this. You know what? We should put this little receipt that I just said in a time vault. What is it? A time vault? You know, like a time capsule.
Yeah. And it's Dante Moore.
This is such a weak schedule. Okay. Dante Moore. I have to do some more research on Dante Moore. Kid from UCLA. Okay. Weak schedule. Okay. What other schedule you guys want to pull up? What was the other one? Did they say Texas? All right. Texas football schedule. Okay. So let's see. Texas football schedule. All right. Okay. Well, at least they're playing Ohio State to start off with. That's respectable, at least. Okay. So you're looking at Texas's schedule for 2025. You have Ohio State, and that is, look, and the thing that I do like about this game, at least it's not like a neutral site. They're going to Columbus, right? Like that's respectable. For sure. And you look, opening games, who the hell knows? Those are tough games. San Jose State, okay, that's, equivalent to Alabama's Louisiana Monroe. Okay, you're playing UTEP, okay? Look, Texas, I'm going to have to call you out right here. San Jose State, UTEP Miners, and Sam Houston. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of sloppy. All right, you go into Gainesville. Billy Napier will have them ready to play. Oklahoma, okay. Red River rivalry game. You say that 3 times fast. At Kentucky. This schedule is light. Vanderbilt, okay. Back end's a little bit more challenging with so what they're living off of, and this is Texas's schedule this year. They're living off of they're going to flex on the fact that they play at Ohio State and the fact that they play at Georgia. But other than that, they have this little 3-course meal right here at the salad bar with San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston. But the last 3 are hard. Sam Pittman coming back. Kirby Smart, and Mike Elko. Okay, the back end, you finally start playing some teams, but that's a light schedule too. Not as light as Oregon's. Okay, what other schedules you guys want us to run through? We got another super chat. Okay, you can read it out.
He said you mentioned the premier facts. Now look at how the UEFA Champions League determines how many spots each league gets. That's how the NCAA football should be.
100%. So what Manu King is talking about, if you've been following like the Champions League, right? Certain teams that are in the Premier League get allotted certain spots based on the competition level, right? Like if you're talking about the Premier League versus La Liga from Spain or some of these upper divisions, they get certain teams into the championship league and that's what should be done in college football. Like there should be allotted slots for SEC teams just based on the fact that the schedule is so much more challenging. 100%. Love it, man. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. Let's just check out Georgia's schedule since we're here, since we're poking around at stuff. All right, so you're looking at an ad right there, and then you're looking at Georgia's schedule. Let's go full screen. People were asking for Georgia? Mm-hmm. Okay, here's Georgia. All right, so you got Marshall. I don't even know if they'll have a team next year, right? Because is it like we talked about it this morning, right? Mm-hmm. So Marshall, in case you missed it, Charles Huff is being recruited to be the head football coach at Southern Miss. And I guess they're saying that Marshall's entire team could hit the transfer portal. This is like something that's like never happened before. All right, Tennessee's schedule up next. We'll put it on the board. So then they take on Austin P, right? The Governors. Then you take on a trip to Tennessee. Okay. Alabama, Kentucky, at Auburn, Ole Miss, Florida. You know what? This is a good schedule. Quincy, what's up, man? Appreciate you supporting the channel. The Georgia schedule, look, I think this is a good schedule. At Tennessee, tough. Bama, right? Hosting Bama, tough. At Auburn played Georgia tough the last time, 2 years ago. They played them tough at Jordan-Hare. Okay? Ole Miss will be tough. That's Lane Kiffin. Think about this. Look, you have Josh Heupel, Kalen DeBoer, right? Hugh Freeze, Lane Kiffin, Billy Napier, Steve Sarkisian. The back end for Georgia is always like Charlotte and then Georgia Tech. Well, you have Brent Key, right? I mean, shoot, the game went into how many overtimes? 8 overtimes. You know what? It's actually not a terrible schedule. I like Georgia's schedule. Call it above average. Who else did we have? Did someone say Tennessee? That's a good schedule. I like that one. Not mad at that. Let's see. We got Tennessee up here. Tennessee, you got Syracuse. Was that Eastern Tennessee? The Buccaneers. Georgia. UAB at Mississippi State. Arkansas, Alabama, Kentucky, Oklahoma. Oh, my beloved New Mexico State Aggies. At Florida, Vanderbilt. It's okay. These schedules are, the thing about it is, look, everybody on their schedule is going to have your Eastern Tennessees, your UABs or whatever. But like the schedule, let's start looking at some like other conferences. So let's pull up, for example, let's look at Miami's schedule. Should we look at Miami's schedule? All right. Maybe they play Syracuse. Maybe we could hop there this way. All right. Sometimes you can kind of just interchange the schedules. All right. Here you go. All right. So here's Miami. I just pulled Miami out because they're ACC team. Quincy Minter in with the super chat. Appreciate you, man. We'll get to it in just 1 second. All right. So Miami opens up with Notre Dame. Okay. That's interesting. And then you got the Cookman Wildcats. South Florida, okay. Little interstate rivalry game. Florida, Florida State, Louisville, NC State, Stanford, Syracuse, Pittsburgh, SMU, Virginia Tech.
That'd be interesting.
But see, I always look at it like this. Like, I look at these schedules, and I'm not trying to, like, throw shade at, like, the SEC. I mean, it is what it is. I don't have to because we continue to see it at the back end of the year. But, like, let me put it like this. If Alabama was – just hear me out. Okay, if you're not a SEC fan or if you're just cruising in for college football, whatever, like honestly, if Alabama, if this was Georgia's schedule, like would this be considered challenging? Notre Dame, Cookman, South Florida, Florida State, Louisville, NC State. No, this wouldn't be. All right, this is another one. Because Notre Dame, they found this loophole, right? That if you don't play in a conference, you could just make the tournament. Okay, let's see. This first ones are pretty interesting, though. Okay, at Miami. Okay, on the road against Miami. I don't know who the backup will be after Cam Ward. Texas A&M. Okay, that was a game that you played last year, and you were able to beat the Aggies. Purdue. That's a weird rivalry game because the teams are from Indiana. At Arkansas, Boise. Hey, that's interesting. I like this. Okay. Actually, this is a pretty good schedule for Notre Dame. Yeah. I mean, you played them a couple times.
I mean, yeah.
This is a better schedule for Notre Dame than it's been. Okay, but it's still not that challenging. I do like some of these games. I'm not gonna lie. But like Boston College step down, NC State step down. I know we do like KC Conception. I know that. Syracuse, they won't have Kyle McCord. Eli Holsting should be pretty good. So, I don't know. It's not that bad of a schedule. What did Quincy have to say, T? This is Notre Dame's schedule, by the way.
Quincy says, if we tell the truth, there are only 2 teams in the SEC that's kept them relevant, and that's Alabama and Georgia before Texas got there. Texas have owned Georgia and Alabama unless injury took place.
And we might get an opportunity to see these two teams play for the third time. You saw Greg Sankey recently put out the numbers of Georgia versus Texas. I mean, the numbers were like astronomical. People want to see top-tier competition. People want to see SEC. SEC drives college football. The problem is the teams are so good in the SEC, it's starting to hurt them from getting in the playoffs. I'm not crying about it. I'm past that. Alabama didn't make the playoffs. A lot of it was because of their own merits. A lot of it is because of the broken college football playoff system. But it's over. I've accepted it. Stages of grief, right? The denial. And then the acceptance. That's where I'm at. It is what it is. So, any other schedules you got? Yeah, all these schedules are pretty easy. You look to Alabama's schedule. I'm excited about, some of those matchups for sure.
What about SMU?
Oh, good one. All right, let's try this. SMU 2025 football schedule. Okay, let's see who the Mustang. Oh, my goodness. I think I might have found another playoff team. All right, we'll go to the big screen. Okay, you got the Baylor Bears. You got Missouri State, another Bears. You go from the Bears, Frogs, Eagles, Bears, Tigers, Cardinals. There are a lot of Bears on this schedule. You played 3 Bears, right? 3 Bears before. Oh, their whole schedule hasn't been released yet, I guess. But you got a lot of Bears in there and a Frog and someone else. So you got, and this isn't consecutively. So we don't know how the schedule is going to shake out. But you got Baylor, you got Missouri State, you got TCU, Boston College, Cal, at Clemson, Louisville, Miami, Stanford, Syracuse, at Wake Forest. I saw that Jalen Daniels, their quarterback, right, signed a new deal, with SMU. Josh is saying check out schedules for playoff teams. Okay, so we got we'll do Clemson next, I guess. Okay, let's see who the Clemson Tigers are playing. Okay, so Clemson starting off taking on LSU, then Troy, and Furman. Well, how would you say that there? What's our mascot? How would you say that, T?
It's not up on my screen yet. Spell it.
Paladins.
Palladians? Palladians? Paladins?
South Carolina.
Paladins?
Boston College, Duke, Florida State, SMU, Syracuse, Georgia Tech. I don't know. This schedule just looks easy to me. Doesn't this? Does it look? This is Clemson's schedule.
That looks easy.
I mean, look. You know what'll happen is they'll be able to somehow win this game. What? Oh, well, they're going to South Carolina. They're not going to win that game.
A person who's champion or a cause of a trusted military leader. That is what a Paladin is. Oh,
okay. All right. Who else you guys want to see? Someone is saying, Alabama superfan is saying Auburn schedule. Paladins. Thank you. I was like, Paladins. All right. Mike Ford in there too. All right. Appreciate you guys. Definitely not perfect. So Auburn schedule. All right. Auburn football schedule 2025. Let's see. Auburn Tigers coming up next. The first game that they play is the Baylor Bears. We'll go to the big screen on this. Baylor Bears, Ball State, Cardinals, South Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas A&M. So I would imagine they start off 3-0, and then, kind of depending on what happens in Norman against Brent Venables, right? So I'd imagine at this point, let's see, they're 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe they're 4-1 at this point in time. 4-2. Let's do 5-2, 6-2, 7-2, 8-2. Is Auburn going to win some games this year? I don't know.
It better.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay, then Mercer. Hey, that's our Mercer Bears.
Hey, those are ours.
You give Mercer back. Yeah, hey, give Mercer back to us. And then Alabama at the back end.
A couple of people asking for Colorado and LSU.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Those are good ones.
And
Hey.
North Carolina.
Is Auburn going to win games?
They should. They have no excuse.
Let's see. They're going to beat Baylor, Ball State, South Alabama. Let's just say they beat Oklahoma. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What if Jackson Arnold's their quarterback? He goes back and beats Oklahoma. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's say they lose to A&M. Let's say they lose to Auburn. Lose to Georgia. Beat Missouri. 20 overtimes against Arkansas. Beat Kentucky. Beat Auburn's going to win, right? I don't know. For whatever reason, I have Auburn winning like 8 games. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know.
Lose to Mercer.
KTK is like 7-5 at best. Oh, who won the Butt Kiss Award?
I saw somewhere.
Can we look up who won the butt?
Yeah, let me see.
Man, no. I don't even know if Jahad Campbell was a finalist, but I'm really big on Jahad, so he'll get the last laugh when he's in the NFL. All right, who's won it? Colorado schedule? All right, let's see.
Jalen Walker.
All right.
Georgia guy.
Colorado football schedule 2025. Okay, Colorado Buff schedule coming up next. All right, let's see. Go full screen. Georgia Tech. Okay.
Wait, which one is this?
This is Colorado.
Interesting.
Okay. Brent Key versus Coach Prime. I like.
Yeah.
Well, is it? So is Hayes? Is Georgia Tech's quarterback coming back? Haynes King. Is that guy coming back? Haynes King, ESPN. Let's see.
He was a redshirt sophomore.
Who? He's coming back, right, fam?
Yeah.
If he comes back, look, Juju Lewis, that guy's a monster. Where's this game at? Colorado? I'd definitely be watching this game.
Yeah, Mike Fort saying that they won't have Sanders or Hunter.
Yeah, but they'll have Juju Lewis and Caleb Odom, right? Then they got Delaware. That's a weird game. Delaware and Colorado?
Well, Georgia Tech and Colorado is weird.
Wyoming. Oh, well, these games aren't in order. Yeah, they haven't released their full schedule. Then they have Arizona, Arizona State. Okay. Dillingham, Coach Prime, good TV. BYU, okay. Iowa State, at Houston, Kansas State, TCU, Utah. Did you see this about Cam? Hey, T, can you pull this up? Sidebar. So, have you guys seen this? Cam Rising. I screenshotted this graphic, T. I'm going to send it to you if you can't bring it up, okay? This is crazy. Cam Rising you guys know who he is, right? He's the Utah quarterback. See if I can find it because I saw it somewhere else. It was like the most unbelievable stat. I don't know how many wins Colorado's going to have. I would imagine that they win a bunch of games. I mean, it's Colorado. And they're playing in the Big 12, Coach Prime. It's going to be tough. I mean, I don't know how good Juju Lewis is going to be. I can't find this photo that I saw earlier today. Maybe I took a screenshot of it.
Was it on Twitter?
No, but Cam Rising is the quarterback at Utah. Yes. Have you guys seen this? How many years he has?
Oh, I see it. I found it.
You found the graphic?
Yeah.
Could you slide it in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Slide it into our board.
Okay, so he started college in 2018. Wow.
Where are you working at, T?
I haven't put it. I'm screenshotting it now.
All right. This is the other thing about like the guardrails and stuff like that around college football. What we are about to show you. Wow. Someone said that Haynes King's about to visit Auburn as well. Oh my goodness. That's crazy.
It is behind Bama's schedule.
Look, W Knight is like, T, there is money voiceover job waiting for you in Hollywood. That's fine with me. Where?
It's behind Alabama's schedule.
Okay, perfect. Got you. Okay, so this graphic I saw floating around.
Is this the one?
Yeah, viewer discretion advised. We'll go to the big screen.
So Trevor Lawrence is on the.
So this is a comparison. We didn't put this together. We found it on social media. This is a comparison of Trevor Lawrence to Cam Rising. 2017, they're both in high school, okay? Who has longer hair? It looks like Cam Rising.
Cam.
Okay. He was at Texas in 2018. 2019 to up to this present point of time, he still has eligibility. I call me crazy, but I think there is a guy from Oregon State that has more that's been playing longer. Can you look this up, T? Just type in Oregon State eligibility or something like that. All right, Snell World is in with the super, and he is saying, move Troy to the SEC, and they will win more games than Auburn in 5 years. Appreciate the super, man. That's what's up. Come on. How can this guy still have eligibility like this?
Was it this guy? His name's like, I don't really know how to say this.
Let's see. Put it up on the screen. Undefeated will help us phonetically say it.
Okay, let me.
Just wait. Texas boy.
Let me screenshot that.
What's up, Texas boy? I appreciate you being here. Roll Tide Probs, are you calling from Miami schedule? We showed Miami schedule just a little bit ago.
Oh no, this guy. This isn't it.
I don't know how old this guy is, but he looks as old as me. And look at Trevor Lawrence, what he's doing. I think Trevor Lawrence has been married by this time. He's with the Jags. Now Mac Jones is starting.
Was it Cam McCormick granted 9th year of eligibility?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, former Duck and Bend native Cam McCormick signed his letter of intent to play at Oregon in November 2015.
Daniel,
nearly a decade later, his college career will finally come to an end in 2024.
Whoa. Well, that's like Van Wilder. And let's look up Cam Rising's age, too. Will somebody look that up?
Yeah. Cam.
Man, that's wild. Remember, who was the quarterback for Florida State
25.
that won the Heisman? What was his name? He was like 28, 29. Help me out, Undefeated. Who was it that won? Did you put it in the graphic box, T?
Oh, how do you say it? Jameis Winston?
No. It was way before that.
Oh, Chris Wink.
Yeah, Chris Winkie. Chris Winkie was old.
And Cam Rising is 25.
Cam Rising's 25. Wow. I guess that's not that old, but I mean comparatively. Did we put Cam McCormick in here?
No, I didn't.
Oh, but he's just the guy. All right, cool.
Yeah,
All right, Christian, what's up, man? Yeah, our evening shows are a little bit more informal. We just kind of talk about different topics. We do hit on, obviously, like the main topic tonight was the 2025 schedule. And, the main pieces of news today was Dylan Lonergan hitting the transfer portal. Oh, I thought it said old man out. It says odd man. I was like, old man out. I was like, hey, he's not old. And then Keanu Coe hitting the transfer portal. And then he's off to Vanderbilt. Ironically, Vanderbilt coming back to Bama this year on October 4th. So, hey, look, he's playing the guitar down here. That's funny. And Alabama's schedule looks like this, which I think is a good schedule. It's hard. I don't know if they'll lose games. They probably will. It's hard. It's the SEC. This is the new age NFL.
I just added Cam if you want it on the next slide.
Jay Bake saying that Cam Rising is older than Bill Belichick's girlfriend. That's another piece of news that we were talking today. Is this him?
That's Cam McCormick, who I just put in there. I didn't know which Cam you wanted.
Yeah, but maybe we should have like maybe we'll work on this for tomorrow. Like all the I know this is our Philippines. Like the dog is mad. I know we're late to feeding the dog. It's on my mind. Bill Belichick though is the head football coach now with North Carolina. How are we feeling about this? Interesting. What's the interest level about Bill Belichick coming to college football? I think it's like I'm kind of interested in this. Why not? 7, 8 interest level out of 10. I think college football is, if you're coming to coach in college football, you better be able to go with like no guardrails. Everything's changing. It's the Wild West. I think Bill Belichick is a little bit too structured for college football, but who knows? Maybe he's not as like, kind of, by the book. I mean, shoot, what? His girlfriend's what? How old is she, T?
24.
24.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know.
Hey, and we had a super chat from, I think it was Angel earlier. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't.
He was asking for a couple more schedules. I think it was.
He says Oklahoma, Penn State. All right, cool. Yeah, we'll try to. I'll put in Penn State in here in just a second. You have appreciate you, Angel. Thank you so much for supporting the show, bro. Yeah, Big Matt, man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, we've been on. This morning it was weird. We were online, and then we lost.
This morning was a nightmare.
But it really wasn't. It wasn't like we weren't like freaking out. Notice he didn't come to the SEC. Oh yeah, Bill Belichick. He was like, did you see who was who almost got the job at North Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Who was it, T?
Reese.
Tommy Reese. Tommy Reese is still coming for it, man. See, Byron Russell. That's what Brian Brooks Austin from his great YouTube channel said on social. He was like, look, if anybody's wondering if he can recruit, his girlfriend is 24. I don't know how old Bill Belichick is, but you know.
24-year-old cheerleader. He's 72.
Bill Belichick is 72?
Yes.
There's no way in hell is he?
And dating a 24-year-old cheerleader, yeah.
Wait, he's 72?
72.
I thought he was like 66.
No.
He's Saban's age.
Yeah. Yeah. Wild.
Man. 72. Man, so Tommy Reese was back in the fold and was trying to be still a head football coach in college. He went from Alabama where he was the OC and now he was working with the Browns as I think the tight ends coach. So Texas boys like Bill the Creep lock him up.
I mean,
look.
Yeah. Yes, Brian. Yes.
Borderline.
These are facts. No, I'm gonna agree with Army. It's a bit creepy.
Nicole, what's up? We see you inside the comment box. Thanks for being here.
But they're all adults, so I guess.
I didn't know that Bill O'Brien was 72 years old. That's crazy.
72 makes it a little weirder.
That's something that blew my mind.
What's that age difference? Somebody do math.
He's on a 5-year deal? Damn.
Yeah, 5-year. He just, that just came up while we were on the show.
Whoa, man. 5 years. Him and Saban, I mean, I would always see them.
That's a 48-year age difference.
Yeah. That's a long time. That's a big age difference. Oh, man. Life is wild, huh? It's crazy. Arkansas receiver is 29. Dang, that's
really?
crazy.
Huh.
That's wild. NC Cougars. Oh, man, you guys are killing me. All right, fam. I appreciate you guys. I got to go feed the dogs. The Frenchies are hungry. I hope that you guys have had an amazing day. I hope that you guys have had time to soak it in. Alabama's football schedule has been released. More news as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Have fun. I love these evening shows. Get a chance to kind of let the hair down and kind of talk about the day's events as it happens. So our live show is at 10 a.m. Central Time, although we went live today at like 10, 11, 12 because of some technical difficulties. But as news happens, I got you covered on Bama Football on YouTube. This will be the last thing I hit on. Greg asked inside the comment box. And Angel, I'm sorry, man, that I didn't get to you on the schedule. What I'll do for you, though, Angel, is tomorrow we'll go over some more schedules. And I'll put up you asked about Penn State.
Yeah, I wrote down the ones he asked
Yeah,
for.
come back tomorrow, and we'll run over that, man. I appreciate it. No offense, man. I just, I'm kind of tired. I wake up at 4:30 every single morning. So it's that was part of the time too why I don't do an evening show because I'm so spent mentally. But Damian Harris said this earlier today. T, can you read this out, please?
Oh yeah, let me get it on the screen. I'm always a few minutes behind you.
So Damian Harris, let me set the stage real quick. So Damian Harris, former Alabama running back, that we like, and he has a podcast. He works for ESPN, or I'm sorry, CBS, and he said this recently regarding Jalen Milroe. He's going to read it out.
So he said, I don't think he should go to the NFL draft because I don't think he's ready. I think he should hit the transfer portal, go somewhere, get a fresh start, because I don't think this marriage between him and Kalen DeBoer, it doesn't look like it's working. Not for either person. Not saying it's either party's fault, just sometimes relationships just don't work.
And that's right. I mean, the bottom line says it all. I mean, I think that's why we're all kind of feeling like there is nothing wrong with Jalen Milroe's character. I mean, you saw the award that he won last night, right? I mean, what was it? Was it this award, right? Milroe wins the William Campbell Award. I mean, this is nothing against the personality or who he is or even what he could do in the NFL. I think it's just, Damian Harris said it right here, is I think we've seen what this relationship can do at the college football level. Kalen DeBoer has a completely different offensive style that he needs to start running if he wants to start winning major football games and start taking Alabama to the highest standard, which is back to the playoffs. I would have never thought that this 12-team playoff, and I know you do too, I never would have thought that we would have been here with Alabama outside of the playoffs. Never. Like, this cannot happen again, like ever. Alabama can never miss the playoffs again. With 12 teams, you're telling me that Alabama is not a top 5 team every year, right? You sign a top 5 recruiting class every single year, and you don't even make the playoffs? Come on. So what Damian Harris is saying is sometimes relationships don't work, and he tried it. And it's nothing against either person, but he's also saying that he feels Milroe should transfer rather than go to the NFL. I don't necessarily know if I agree with that, but that's his take, and he has really good takes. I think I'm really happy to see his career because I think, number one, he's got that drip. I mean, nobody dresses better than this young man, and number two, I think the sky's the limit for him in terms of being an analyst. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. I will catch you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Time, as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Love Wild Violet, I saw your comment inside the comment box. I appreciate you being here. Jarvis, Angel, Lance, Army, Gelato, our regulars, Kimberly, Nicole, everybody inside the comment box. Sleep well, rest well, take it in. We'll catch up with you guys tomorrow right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Have a beautiful rest of your evening, and thank you so much for the support on the show and for being here, rocking with us right